Playoffs. Week 1 is in the books. We now know who is what the fuck. What the Jesus Christ was that? The first week of the playoffs is it's over. It's over. We know who's going to be in the semi-finals now. Fun fact. Let's get this out of the way. It's not me. I'm not in the semi-finals. But we will get into everyone. Truth be told, I don't know where Conor is. And SJ will be joining us shortly. But if you know anything, I don't know where he is. But what will make this an interesting episode, or I hope so anyway, is we will be joined by some of the players of the Reading Knights later on. And if you know why that will be interesting, then you know why. But of course, we're going to go through the first week for the games that have happened so far. As you can see, ticking across the bottom of the screen, we've got the Premiership, so we will start there. Again, no surprises here for the Premiership. Uwe 54-0. Leeds Beckett 68-0 over Birmingham. Nottingham 79-0 over Uwe. And then still to play on the 5th of March is the SGS Pride versus the Durham Saints. Dylan, have you got any thoughts? Like, I don't. It's exactly how we thought it would go.
I think it's closer in a weird way than I expected. Nottingham put a...
Really?
No. In the sense that Nottingham put a UWE SGS style scoreline up, as did Leeds Beckett.
See, this is what you've got to understand is that playoff Nottingham Gold are different gravy. Like, they're a completely different team. Like, you can... Like, I fully think it's going to be a final. I think, I do expect SGS to beat Durham, but those semi-final Prem games are absolutely filth. Sorry, Durham, but I am looking past you on SGS's behalf. SGS versus Gold and Leeds Beckett versus Bullets is two games that are pure filth.
That's what I mean. Especially Leeds Beckett Birmingham is a quite impressive score to put up against Birmingham. I don't think
that's it, because, mate, I think sorry. No, the SGS one is going to be played on the 5th of March. Very much the same as your game, you little wet wipe.
3 teams. That's what we do. Yeah, SGS Birmingham 6-0.
Only elite squads play on the 5th. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Moving on to Division 1. Again, obviously, we have got one big upset, which we'll get into. Bournemouth Uni Bobcats 30, Bristol Barracuda 7, Hertfordshire Hurricanes 20, Exeter Demons 12. The Portsmouth Destroyers 34, Royal Holloway 14. Now, this is the surprise one, I guess, which wasn't too much of a surprise. Brunel Burners 24, Essex 6. They waited until the postseason to beat them. NTU advanced, beating Glasgow 24-9. Now, we'll get into this one because this scoreline's a little bit tricky. Loughborough 15, Warwick 6. Very surprising. Sheffield Hallam 49, LJMU Fury 28. I say we're obviously going to get into Brunel a little bit more when SJ comes on later on in the show. But I say we start Loughborough versus Warwick. They've met each other twice in the regular season. It's both times have gone Loughborough's way. To only win a game by that many points when you're favoured to basically take the North, I'm surprised. But the thing is, though, I don't want to think people think I'm slacking off Warwick. No, Warwick are a good side. I personally think Warwick is an underrated side who could very well be on a massive come up as far as I'm concerned. But that's still a surprising one for me for Loughborough. What are your thoughts? Do you think maybe familiarity was a bit too intense, and Loughborough were just resting on laurels?
I think we've been robbed of not seeing how Leeds do. Because I'd love to have seen them sort of put up a scoreline that you can maybe compare. It's one of those where all we've really seen this week is actually, I think it's the disparity is what's really bad. As we were saying the other week, it's actually not the top few teams that are that different in divisions. It's like the lower ones. So actually, now that we're in the playoffs, especially, we'll get onto it, Div 2 South, like when it's the top teams playing the top teams, there's no real sort of standout blowout scorelines like we've been getting week in, week out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's positive at all. I think Loughborough, I'm now probably going to have to favour towards Leeds for promotion.
That's the thing is, like, I had the fortunate case of being able to go to Loughborough to watch Loughborough versus Sheffield Hallam last year, and that's the matchup we find ourselves staring at currently for Loughborough. It was at home at Loughborough as well, and Sheffield Hallam did beat them. And I'm sure that, like, Loughborough are aware of that, but given that scoreline, you've now got to sort of question. What's going on in Loughborough now.
It's only really Sheffield
moving
who've
on,
put up like a statement, I'd say.
and that's it. So sort of moving on to the south. Obviously, like, this one was an underdog, but they're not they've lost twice to the same team, but still somehow quasi favourites. Brunel Essex 24-6. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not particularly surprised.
No.
No. It's a real strange narrative that Brunel has had. And it's going to be, again, interesting to talk about it when Essie's on, just to see, like, what was made. I think that those the Div 1 South playoff games that are going to be coming in the semi-finals are absolutely magnifique. In fact, we'll get into it after we finish talking about these. No, actually, you know what? Let's not bother. Let's bring it up right now. So this is what the standings look like. We'll do it for the Prem as well. So you've got Bournemouth versus Hertfordshire. Delicious. Tasty. Brunel versus Portsmouth. Delicious. Tasty. Leeds versus NTU. Sensational. 5 Michelin stars. Like, this Div 1 semi-final lineup is absolutely magnifique in terms of talent and players, and just, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'll put to this later, we're not going to do predictions for this week for those games because they don't happen on Sunday. They happen next Sunday. So, like, we're not gonna put it out 2 weeks before because, as we've seen, some teams can pull out. The one that I've sort of missed off on the banner there is Leeds Griffins did win a walkover against Edinburgh. Let's have a look at the Prem, as we've already covered that. As I've said, Bullets versus Leeds Beckett, and Gold versus the winner of Durham versus SGS. It's going to be SGS. But yeah. What are your thoughts on those games? Because those are like those quarterfinals were a bit wafty. Those semi-finals are absolutely spot on.
I think Hertfordshire Bournemouth probably the closest one. I think the winner of that division might come from there now. Sorry to Brunel.
No,
I just don't.
No, I can understand where you're coming from. Like, for me, like, both of those South games for me are absolutely, oh my god, I'm so happy that I've been caught up on this. The Div 1 quarters, that's filth. I'm so happy. I was worried I was going to have a Sunday without football. Thank you. So the Div 1 quarters are this weekend.
There you go. Get back up.
Get back up. Fair enough. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. So we will do. We might as well do predictions right now. There's only 4 games. Okay, well, this is interesting now. Okay, Dylan, Bournemouth versus Hertfordshire.
Oh,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, Bournemouth aren't played out of the division.
I'm going to go with Bournemouth.
Yes, because they beat Exeter, I think.
Yeah.
Hertfordshire I think they were losing to Exeter at half time.
Yeah. From what I can gather, that is the case. The U versus the Brunel Burners. I'm just going to put myself in shot here. I sort of want to go Portsmouth as well. But I'm going to go for Brunel. And there you go. How about that? Leeds versus NTU.
You've done that because SJ's on in 10 minutes and you fancy the argument. No, I'm back in Portsmouth.
Yes, that's true. I do.
Now I'm being consistent enough. If they win this game, they'll lose in the semis.
Well, you don't know what you're talking about. So Leeds versus NTU. I think it's going to be a really good game, a really close game, but I'm going to still stick with Leeds.
They're out of practice though. That NTU putting 24 on Glasgow shouldn't be underestimated. I don't know. I imagine Leeds have done something similar. It's a close game, and it's in Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah, it is in Leeds. Yeah.
I'll give it to Leeds.
And then this is another tricky one: Loughborough versus Sheffield Hallam.
I think that's the winner of the division. I think Sheffield, and they're going to go to the Prem.
I'm very hesitant. You know, it's not a particularly great scoreline from Loughborough, but I'm still going to be going with Loughborough for the win.
No.
Well, here's the thing: if Loughborough can hold Warwick to 6 points, they've been holding low all season. Like Sheffield Hallam are putting up these big scores. And like if Loughborough's defense can just hold the line, then I think.
Yeah, but Loughborough yet to play a high scoring team or properly good.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, no, then that's it. That's the test. It's offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. It's sort of that argument.
Loughborough beat NTU 2014. I just don't see them beating Hallam.
I don't know. Oh, Loughborough. I'm still picking Loughborough. I'm gonna lock that in now. Moving on to the Div 2 North with one big talking point. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a shame, ladies and gentlemen. As we've finished talking about Division 1, look who's here. Disgusting.
I heard your predictions. Don't worry, I heard the predictions.
You should have heard what Tebbs just saying about Brunel, SJ. Shocking.
I didn't say anything about. I picked Brunel over Portsmouth, but the problem is that if I pick against Portsmouth, they normally fucking win. But that's not on purpose. I do think Brunel will beat them. So how was your game? Tell me about the game. What changed?
Everything. I think.
Okay.
Thanks,
bud. Yeah.
From the get-go, it's a mentality thing. I think I've said to you from day one, playoffs is all about who wants it more. And I'm not saying Essex didn't want it more, but when we're turning up at 10:30, 3.5 hours before kickoff, and they're strolling up still at 11:30. Come on, like it makes a difference. People say it doesn't, but to be fair to Essex, like we said to them at the end of the game, like they've had a phenomenal season, and I think they had a season that no one predicted them to have. I think everyone had them dead to rights going down at Christmas.
Oh, Tebbs, I'm going to miss God's division. 2.5 hours before kickoff. That not needed. None of that in God's division, SJ. We don't get access to the pitch for an hour before.
Yeah, but that's Scotland, mate. That's why we put you all in one division and no one talks to you all. So, just a good performance all round. Let's on to the next one. Portsmouth will be a really good test. I think it'll be a great game. Yeah. I have no way. I don't know which way it will go, but all I've heard is that Portsmouth pitch is nicknamed the Favelas. So that tells you everything about the pitch.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's something else. I've not been there myself.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I've never been there. I've heard about when we used to play against them, and it's always been a fun one. So
it's okay. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that game. Whilst you're here, Messi, give me some give me your thoughts on Div 1. What's going on next week? Obviously, Brunel versus Portsmouth. You've got your own thing. Brunel versus Hertfordshire. What are you thinking?
Well, Brunel versus Hertfordshire. I didn't realise I was playing them.
Oh, sorry, Bournemouth versus Hertfordshire.
I think that is on paper. That is a really, really good game because my thought of it is going there. Exeter lost to Hearts, but then Exeter beat Bournemouth one time. So it's. I don't. I'm going to go Bournemouth. I think it'll be
Yeah.
I think it'll be a close one.
Yep. Okay, then Leeds NTU.
Depends on the time that Leeds schedule their game, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Are
Can't be
NTU on a team
scheduling.
holiday this week is the question.
Like on that, like I don't know Leeds. I don't know what the situation is with their pitch and stuff. But I refuse to. I don't know the whole details either. There probably might be more than just having a pitch at 7:30. But scheduling a game for 7:30 p.m. Come on, like, but Leeds. I'd take Leeds in that. But I think that same again. That'll be a close one. They're all close games now. There's no.
They are. Okay, let me ask you, because like you spent some time at Loughborough. Are you surprised by that Loughborough score, 15-6 against the Wolves?
But based on last year, that's all I can go off. Is last year there were close games between Loughborough and Warwick.
Mm.
I don't know if it was just maybe playoff jitters first half, but I saw the score. I saw the halftime score, and I was nervous for them. But I've
actually just seen they played first game this season. It was only 16-3 to Loughborough.
Warwick are a good side. Very good side.
Why are all three of us dressed like the corresponding colours on a traffic stop sign or traffic?
A hangover.
Stop. Yeah. It's just weird, just something. So the last one, obviously, Loughborough versus Hallam. What have we got for that one before we dive into Division 2?
That's a rematch of last year, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I just think Loughborough got a better team this year than last year on paper.
Yeah.
I think they've got a better team.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Loughborough. You know, maybe there is a little bit of bias in that sentence, but
yeah, it's because ladies and gentlemen, is SJ wants to wear his half Loughborough, half Brunel jacket that he got custom made to the finals. That's what he wants.
Bollocks.
That's what he wants. That's what he wants, guys. That's the only reason why he's still here. So moving on to Division 2, we're going to start with the North, because if I have to face any more conversations about the South, I will jump out my bedroom window. But I've got again, we'll get into it later. Liverpool beat Bradford in a walkover. Leicester beat division rivals Derby 26-6 in probably the best game, or the big test. Aberdeen 20, Nottingham Green 26. And obviously, the Heriot Watt Wolverines versus the York Centurions has been rescheduled for the 5th of March, or just scheduled for the 5th of March. Big one coming out of this one, nothing too surprising. However, Aberdeen putting up that, solid of a score against a very game Nottingham team. For a team that's in it for a year, for a team that's in its second year, you got to take your hat off to Aberdeen.
That's a joint highest points total for them this season. That's what they put up against Napier in the second game. And I think, honestly, there was a bit, I don't know if you're watching the live stream for the Nottingham game, but there was a bit at the end where they zoomed in on the players who were listening into the game. And it was saddening they won, because that could have been the best bit of Britball coverage ever if they'd lost that. After zooming in every camera.
No, I still think that was a really good bit of coverage, because it's difficult to sort of propagate in your head that the Prem arm of these teams with two teams don't care about the other half. But to see something like that, that's as far as I'm like that's that's incredible to see.
Awesome.
And the Green deserve to be going further, but honestly, just absolutely sensational from Aberdeen this year. As far as I'm concerned, the sky is they're going to be the limit for Aberdeen next year.
Start. Definitely,
it certainly is.
Setting up foundations, that's the way to do it.
Are you now going to shoot down their dreams and make a prediction for the game against Liverpool?
Who? They're not playing.
Aberdeen aren't playing them.
What?
They're playing at Liverpool next.
Who are?
Aberdeen. Oh my god.
Fuck off, Dylan.
No, they're not. What?
Nah,
they lost.
Stupid. Yeah, I just remembered. And the head got
It's
over it.
top journalism. Top
Either way,
journalism right here.
Nottingham will lose them.
So we're going to move on to the Div 2 South, which we're going to cover very, very quickly. KCL Regents 13, Greenwich Mariners 6, Brian Panthers 16, UCL Emperors 4, Bath Killer Bees 19, Solent Redhawks 0, Reading Knights 12, Gloucestershire Gladiators 0, and we're not going to fucking talk about it anymore. Okay, we're going to move on to the next segment. No, we're not. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to tell ladies and
Did
gentlemen.
you mute SJ, or was that him?
Yeah, he's muted himself.
Oh.
I feel like KCL not putting big numbers on Greenwich is quite a worrying. So, but then to be fair, no one really put big numbers on anyone this week in the South. I think it shows there is a good core of teams developing in the Div 2 South. Obviously, 3 of them, KCL, Bath and Reading, are going up, but there is some teams there that are still solid. Brighton, UCL. Again, that went about as well as expected. A 4-pointer, 16-4. Another interesting score coming out of Uni Ball.
You don't expect 3 teams in playoffs to not get a touchdown. Like, defensively, that. But defensively, like, that sort of Div 2 South, I'm hoping is better rather than offensively bad. But it's a weird thing to see once you get to playoffs. Who knows?
Like Solent only allowing Bath to score 19. I think that's a big thing. But then, like, sort of the favourites now being for the final being Reading and Reading and Bath, having games that are very similar. Conor's informed me that he won't be joining us, so it will be us. But yeah, like us, Sunday. Sunday was an awful day.
Can we talk about Sunday, or do you want to talk about it, or are you?
Yeah, we could talk. Well, we're getting some of the Reading lads on, I imagine, in the next few minutes. So we can sort of what's it? We can talk about glory and the agony of defeat for both sides. Not a good day all round. It's strange. It's strange I say that because we're going to be joined by some of the older Reading Knights now, which is nice because it's almost like I've forecasted this to go here, and oh god, they're all in their fucking stash, and they've got a flag behind them. Jesus Christ! Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
How you doing?
Yeah, you fucking assholes. Introduce yourselves, obviously individually, but yeah.
Well, I'm Federico. I'm a wide receiver.
I'm Francisco, the QB.
Adam, I'm the linebacker and the media guy.
Well, let's be honest. You weren't the QB. You were the punter because that.
So it was a contingency project.
I believe I was told you got MVP for punting the ball. Basically, It was a punt bowl on yesterday. So you've managed to come in just as I'm about to speak on the game from my side of the ball. But considering you're the guests, I'd say you go first because I will probably have a breakdown in regards to the game that has happened. Oh, I've actually kicked him off. Right, let's bring him back on. Sorry about that, guys. That wasn't on purpose, I promise.
I mean, I reckon from our side, obviously, we knew Gloucester was a really well-drilled team, especially in terms of defense. And the front 7 was quite strong. So obviously, we were trying to work for that to make sure that it wouldn't affect us as much. Coming into the game, we were down 2 of our starting receivers, which was obviously affect us quite a lot in terms of the game plan and all of that. But I think we managed a little bit to try and manage the clock and the game down to try not give you the ball as much as we could. I think that was it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Basically, were you sort of expecting it from a Gloucestershire side to to have to punt the ball so much? Like, was the defense what you expected it to be, or was it a slightly bigger challenge, especially for the wide receiver and the quarterback?
I think it was a bit more challenging than we were expecting. Like we were expecting a challenge, but we weren't expecting such aggressiveness straight at the top. That kind of put us off guard, which kind of just tried to make us go more through the ground game and not as much as an air raid game. But eventually, like, we just kept on going and trying to grind it through.
Yeah, you ground the ball directly into that DB's hands, which then went into, I believe, the hands of the man sitting to your right.
That was a play call. That was a play call. That was, we wanted to start a ladder call, and we ended up playing it mid game.
So, well, I'll describe to to you two gentlemen and the audience that basically what happened was cute. He threw a ball, lovely ball. One of our DBs managed to swat it out of the air and fell into the hands of. It's depressing. I can't deal with it.
It was the luckiest touchdown ever, honestly.
When
I threw the ball and I saw it going in the air, I was just like, "Well, that's a pick."
I'll put it just like this: if I wasn't on the other side of the ball, I would have been like, "Oh, that play was absolutely disgusting." Do you know? Actually, let me tell you the worst part about that is I turned because you were backed up quite far.
Oh yeah.
I turned around to Harvey, one of our receivers, and I just went, "I bet you this goes for a touchdown. I bet you this play goes for a touchdown." And he goes, "No, it won't." And then we just watch it happen, and I just turn to him and I go, "Don't tell anyone about this." and that's it. We got a head coach of Gloucester you're giving him PTSD. But so obviously the sort of the whole 2-star meme, which for Dylan, you'll be interested to know this. I did hear all game long, 2 stars was what I heard. To sort of have that sort of built into, especially because for all my sins, I do still like Rob Smith, and he informed me at the start of the year just how sort of unimpressed the players of the Reading Knights were with that prediction. To now, obviously, clear out the division. You're now in the semi-finals. You're being promoted. Like, from a player's perspective, what does the future look like for the Reading Knights?
I mean, I think first of all we want to go all the way through in the playoffs. First of all, to leave our mark in the program, leave our mark in Div 2, because this has always been a Div 1 program. And last year coming up with only 7 returners and having a full rookie squad and being hit the way we were in Div 1 kind of felt like the effort we were putting in didn't actually turn into results. And this year it's the opposite. I think it's showing all the work that we put in from last year has now turned into the results that we're having now. So I think it's going to be a nice challenge in the future to see what we can now start doing in Div 1 as well.
What's the expectation then, I guess, for next year? Obviously, you want to focus on the playoffs, but you're going up. That's not going to change regardless of how the next few weeks go. Has that been a conversation yet of what is the expectations next year, or is it just
it hasn't much, to be honest.
Focus on this year first, and then obviously what next year brings.
Yeah, I think we're all ready to get new challenges and face off new teams. That's for sure. And postseason is going to be really, really important to get to the level to be able to maintain the standards in Div 1. So absolutely, work harder. We can just say that.
Yeah. It's just that.
So, what would you say the difference has been coming from the Milano Seaman to now being at a Uniball? Because I imagine that it's quite vast, but then obviously, we'll get into another question that I'd like to ask in regards to the amount of coaches that Reading has, which Rob has flexed many times on social media and also on this show. But what would you say is the biggest changes? Is it more relaxed? Is it less relaxed? Like, just what are your thoughts?
Okay, so coming to play to Reading at the beginning, I thought it was going to be more relaxed. I thought it was going to be like more of a university environment. I didn't know that level of everybody here wants to play. It's eager to play and wants to win games. So I thought at the beginning, I thought it was going to be more easy, but at the same time, because of the big coaching staff, also like the mentality and the value that Rob has been giving us since the OTAs from last year, I haven't really seen a very big difference from the two programs, because as in Milan, we had really high expectations. We were also, when I came here, I was met with even higher expectations from Rob and the entire coaching staff.
Yeah.
So.
God, it's almost like he's media trained and Rob's just got his hand in everything. I hate it.
You haven't seen this, but Rob literally gave us a lecture how to talk here before.
Yeah. He did.
It would surprise me. On the other side of this camera is just Rob with like a big stick, just like no.
No, he just has.
It is a shame. It's bloody Rob. It's as soon as he got that lovely head coaching jacket that he's got, it was all over for him. That was going to be it. So you're going to be facing KCL. It's a battle of division winners.
Mm-hmm.
Given the score, undefeated winners.
Yeah.
Given it seems that the entire Division 2 South didn't want to score any points on Sunday. I can't talk. My team scored 0. So, but how do you see that game going? Do you see it being another sort of another defensive showcase on your route up to the finals, which I don't think is going to be too controversial when I say is most likely to be against the Killer Bees?
Well, I think that KCL has some really good drilled offense and defense. They're really good at moving the ball, not only rushing, but also passing. And on the defense side, they have some really good playmakers too. I think it's really going to be challenging to hit those sweet spots so we can move the ball and maintain control of the game during the majority of the time.
Yeah.
And we hope to get up until the finals. If we have to play against Bath, it would be amazing. But I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton could pull some points on them.
Yeah.
Is that you being media trained, or do you genuinely think that?
No, we actually.
I've learned after Sunday that anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
and Brighton is.
Grow up.
Now I have to say, when we were doing study film on Brighton, they are really good at taking opportunities. Yeah. So the more you give them, the more they're going to take, and eventually they will score.
Yeah. I think from a defensive standpoint, we'd like to keep it a low-scoring game. I mean, I'm sure you saw on Sunday, Tebbs, our defense is really well drilled, and it has been all season. And I think that if we kind of play as we have played all season, there's a very good chance we can kind of keep them to a score or two.
Yeah.
Would you say, as a whole, the division's just... Would you say it's defensively strong or offensively weak? Because there's been 4 games without a team getting 20 points, which we haven't really seen all season.
Mostly is, I think defensively the whole division, or the whole South bit, is strong. But I think in terms of offense, I think it was more the playoff pressure that happened. I think that was a major factor. I mean, speaking for personal experience, it was a major factor. Obviously with playoff, there's another sort of pressure bringing into you. It's do or die. So I think now that most teams have experienced it, they'll be used to it. So I think they'll be back to their usual self and bringing back what Brighton and Bath is. I think Brighton might surprise Bath. For example, we saw that in the last game, their QB came back again. They're starting QB, so that can be a major point against Bath. But I mean, it's Div 2 Brit Ball, so we never know what's going to happen.
So are you saying teams you've played, maybe not this weekend, but offensively are quite bad? And how much of that would come from the O-line.
Oh, I can speak on that one. I was playing opposite Tebbs for most of that game.
No, you can say you can say what you want. Like,
no, I think Gloucestershire had a really strong offense, and I'd say that they were making consistent yards on a lot of those plays, but I think our defense doesn't let up many big plays, and I think what we do very well is that we can make a stand in short yardage situations, and I'd say that that's what's going to help us through this season, not conceding many points. It's just the fact that we can rally as a group and just completely hold someone out on our own goal line if we have to.
Yeah. I think our defense literally following the motto "bend don't break" at this point, and it's been like that the entire season. I think it's not going to stop now.
yeah, I think playing against you, I can sort of see that a bit more fourth-handedly. That like yards were gains, but it was still the same level of pressure. Going in. Conor's not here with us in the studio, but he's I do need to give Gloucestershire Gladiators somewhat of their flowers. Taking a team from 0 and everything to 5-1, and giving it contention is a hell of an achievement and really something to build on next year, because it's the only team that is going to build around their centre, which is mad. No, I'm joking, but I mean, I don't know. It was. I said this to Rob, the day before. In an ideal world, it would have been Gloucestershire versus Bath in the first round. When I found out it was Reading,
I wish for that to happen.
That would have been.
I wanted to see that matchup so bad.
Yeah, it appears that everyone wanted to see that matchup, and I think I said to Rob on Saturday, I was like, it's such a shame that we have to play you first, because I really didn't want to. Not based on anything I've sort of said, just because it was all I really wanted was Bath. All I really wanted was Bath. In fact, in protest, since the game was postponed, I've not had a bath. That's how angry I am. That's how angry I am about it. But
hoodie was white when you put it on.
Yeah, it was. It's actually glowing. It's actually glowing. Also, let's just get this out. This is a whole Sharks hoodie. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Disgusting.
I mean, to be honest, we also kind of have something against Bath. Last year, our last game was against Bath. It was an absolute mud bowl.
That was awful.
The score was 6-6. In my opinion, the game should have just been postponed, just so it could have been unplayable conditions. But honestly, we left that game feeling that there was something to prove that didn't actually manage to show anything because of the shit conditions.
Sorry, boys.
It's just, yeah.
And especially because and also Bath sort of get this is it annoyed me somewhat that Bath was sort of overlooking everyone, and started chirps into our beautiful Prince Rob Smith on Instagram. Already.
Yes, he got baited. He got baited. But I do have to say that I saw some screenshots of the conversation, and the person in question did say that Bath Spa would come up third in our division.
Yeah, he did. Yes, I. It's strange. I've also seen those screenshots as well, and I don't think I've seen a colder take in my life.
Yeah,
in my entire
we all thought, oof, big oof.
Again, I'm not slagging off Bath Spa here, but
we
you
all
wouldn't.
love Bath Spa, but in our division where we have Knights, Brighton, and Solent, I'm sorry.
You've got I think you've had the toughest division on paper, because I think you've got a division that is full of teams that have either come from Div 1 or they've just always been pretty good. So,
Jamie, if you give me 5 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm trying to do something.
Do you mean the toughest division in the south there, SJ?
I'd say to South. I'd definitely say.
I know. Yeah, 100%. Again, this is another conversation. It seems a lot of these conversations that I'm having here are conversations that I have had with Rob at one point or another. But yeah, we had this discussion the other day where I imagine what had happened is that message from Bath had just been sent, and he was asking me, "Oh, what's the worst division in the south?" It's like, "Oh, sorry, what's the best division in the south?" It's like, "Well, yours, and then the southwest, and then the southeast." Sorry, KCL.
No, well,
You can
thing is-
say I'll put it like this. It doesn't matter now. I'm going to go back to the old. I'm going to go back to the old Tebbs. I'm not playing anymore. My season's over. Southeast 2 fucking sucks. Absolutely
we don't
fucking
want to say that
sucks.
to play KCO.
No.
Well, I'm not playing them now. I'm not playing them. Yeah,
I mean, I guess
KCL.
the
Yeah,
playoffs are going to show up which division is going to be better, right?
I don't think they're beating
Yeah.
Greenwich that convincingly though. 13-6.
yeah. See, and like we can say that, but it's like again, I do like KCL. Don't think that this will be slack off KCL, but like games where they've won by a single score, and we've spoken to them about it, and it was like we won in the fourth quarter on 7-0 game, and like coming close with City, coming close with Greenwich now. For me, I just think that
really won on a pick six. I'm saying all this about. I'm saying it's all about Kings because I'm involved in the varsity. So
yeah,
I think we
lose my
kind
job
of
now.
expected Brighton to put maybe a few more points on UCL, and when they didn't, we kind of sent a few warning signs that because Brighton have put some big scores up, and we know they've got an offense that can move, and I think you would have expected them to put more points on UCL maybe.
Yeah.
Respect my institution, man. Come on, they've got the best.
The problem is, SJ, you're in so many institutions. No one knows where you are. You've got fingers in pies in Brunel, UCL, and Loughborough. You know what you want is that you want Loughborough and Brunel to go up, and just so you go hands in the Prem, hands in Div 2, and then that's what you want. But yeah, I think it's the yeah. So am I. The Div 2, the semi-finals of practically everything are so much more interesting now. Reading KCL. It's a real shame that there isn't going to be a South North Div 2 game because that'd be really funny.
We were talking about.
We're actually talking
Yeah,
about
it was
it.
like it was going to be so cool if we could do like a finalist against finalist and just
Right. In that case, if you're looking, if you've been looking, well, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the North? Who do you think's coming away with that? I mean, it doesn't. Again, you can say what you want here because you're not going to play them. So
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really looked that much.
Yeah.
But I think.
boo.
Yeah, I know. But I think like going on the obvious, like, Liverpool should be like a really big contender.
Yeah, Liverpool.
They have a very, very big squad, good players.
I mean, and was it the last 2-3 seasons that they've never managed to? Yeah, like I kind of always felt sad for them. I mean, never managed to go up and then go and win everyone in the playoffs, but this year they finally managed to do it. So I think they would be the big contenders to win it.
Them and Leicester.
I think all you need to know about the Div 2 North divisions is that a few weeks back a team were claiming to win 100-0 and then have given a walkover.
Oh, yeah.
The first game of the
yeah,
playoffs.
I saw that.
We all saw that.
Yeah.
That was so.
We're all just thinking
Radical,
Yeah.
Bradford. Radical. So sort of like I've sort of running out of sort of serious questions before I start having a mental breakdown because I'm not playing football anymore. So like you and Bath both came down from the southwest last year. So do you think there's going to be a redraw, but like in the south, you've got all the divisions of the south are quite sort of defensively sturdy. Well, like where's looking good? Where do you sort of want to end up? Is there any sort of Div 1 teams you want to face? Like, do you want to go back to the southwest?
They've won south. They've won south.
Sorry.
They've won south. We want to go there no matter what.
Yeah.
But you're a Div 1 South program. Like I think you're one of those teams that got shafted over SGS coming in.
Yes,
I think
yeah. We've always been Div 1 South no matter what, and then SGS came over and we're like, oh, we're in Southwest now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to go there. We have a special love for Hertfordshire.
Yeah, our DC went to Hertfordshire quite close to the start of the season, so I think that's definitely a team we want to face next year.
Does that mean you don't think Hearts are going up? Because
considering Bournemouth,
No, I don't.
considering the Bournemouth factor, I don't think so.
No,
You've got Bournemouth going all the way. What are your thoughts on that?
I got it.
SJ?
I got Bournemouth going all the way.
We scrimmaged Bournemouth pre-season, and they were very good.
That's true.
We played them in Exeter, and we'd probably say that it's a tougher challenge at Bournemouth. You got.
Yeah, Bournemouth were I think a little better than Exeter, but overall, they had some really, really, really good players. Like the running back, their cornerbacks were really good.
That O-line was mountains.
Yeah, like they know how to hit.
Yeah,
which is really surprising sometimes.
Oh, but it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird when like your trajectory is to the Prem, but you don't know if you want to go there. But
yes. Like we've talked with some of the guys from Bournemouth.
yeah.
They're like, we don't know if like it's good if we go up, but then a lot of the key players are gonna go away. So I kind of don't know how it's gonna go in the Prem if they go all the way up.
But why wouldn't you want to go all? Like, I don't get it. I actually don't get like the whole sort of we need a training year. No, just go see what happens. Like, what's the worst? Come back down. Oh,
I think
it's stupid.
it defeats the
I
purpose
don't
of
get.
playing.
There's such beta male mentality in so many teams. And I hate it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Dylan's on his Sigma grind set right now, guys.
no.
Hold on a second.
Edinburgh, like fair play, 7 p.m.'s tight. They have a varsity game booked mid-playoffs. What are you on about? Oh,
That is true.
No, because if they
That
win,
is- that-
they'd have to concede the
that is
walkover
true.
for the next game anyway.
That is true.
Triggered Dylan in this whole conversation.
It's true. Like, it's the whole, we need a rebuild in the year. We'll see what happens. No, just go for it. And who knows? If you're a Prem team, you might get good recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There,
Exactly.
sorry, I needed that.
It defeats a little bit the purpose of like getting better. Like you should aim to go up in divisions every time, and like get new challenges. So I think they should go for like first division. I will in Prem and stay in Prem.
But just no love for Brunello. What a mad team. Now the thing is that I'm out of questions.
Hands up. My least favourite loss I've ever experienced was against Reading. And I think Rob actually played in that game.
Oh no!
What happened?
I think we lost 20-0. I think we went 7-1, and that one loss was to the Rob Smith Reading Knights.
We're sorry.
Yeah, Rob Smith, you fucking dork. It's the only time where like I've come away from a game and I've gone up to the head coach of the other team and it's like, oh yeah, we'll go for a pint after playoffs. It's like, yeah, never had to do that before. But just a weird feeling. I promise you, I'm trying to do a lead in to get Jamie on, but my computer's freezing. So Jamie's summer he's lost in the time warp, but I'm trying my hardest to bring him on. So, oh Jesus Christ! Just someone ask another question. Someone ask another question.
Actually, I have actually generally got one. So, how big is your roster this year? Because from what I've seen in pieces,
It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
It's so big.
65 players.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes, lads.
Oh,
Here we go.
Hello, James.
Hello.
I'm loving the quarter zips, guys. I wish we could have them, but
I don't think they exist.
Yeah,
I don't know where we'd go.
why?
they do.
Why
We
is
just no? We do. We just sign sponsorship deals with companies that pull out last minute. So
I was gonna say, does Reading I think Reading definitely fit into that group of look good, feel good, play good because all their kit is just really nice.
Yeah,
And it's
this year we changed uniforms, and it was another thing. Like when they came on new, it was incredible. And the first game we played against was Chichester. It was.
Yeah.
First game was
They
uniform.
Oh, I'm
literally
so
arrived
sorry.
Friday before the game. Everyone was just happy
It
to
was
see
amazing.
something that looks.
And the worst part was on the O line. I was making sure to tell the other players that your kit is shit because I know how much you love your kit.
Well, that'll be why one of your own linemen ripped my nice shiny new jersey.
Yeah, you got to get in the heads. And I started shouting 2 stars from the sideline, and my quarterback told me to stop, even though I thought it was funny. But
Is that because
apparently,
we sacked him in the end zone afterwards?
huh?
Is that because we sacked him in the end zone afterwards?
I can't hear you, mate. You're breaking up. You're breaking up, bud. I don't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't a sack. Out of bounds.
Actually, you did sack him. He kicked out of bounds. Get
It
your
was still
facts
a
right.
safety.
Never mind that. Do they have matching helmets?
Yeah.
Oh,
I meant to
mate,
bring this
grow
up,
up.
Only like 2 or 3 players.
You
that
are a
don't have
fucking-
it because they had their own before.
Good.
Mate, we had this discussion. I was ready to do it. I was ready to get my helmet wrapped, but other players weren't. My nice matte black Zenith was going to go royal blue, but
You don't need to do that. You just need to do what Britball did and just get some spray paint.
We had our,
why
we
would
had our
I do that?
It looks incredible. It's got a lovely cracked effect now.
Yes.
It looks like he makes a tackle.
Instead of dropping it on the floor.
I mean, he's a DB,
I
so
don't-
I'm sure I can expect it.
I don't know how I managed to do it. I've managed to get 2 helmet smashes on the floor in the last week, which is
Anyway.
good. And one of them was in the game.
Taking over. Back to the beef about Leeds.
Hold on. Let me just see. Let me see if the Reading guys want to go. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers,
yeah, honestly,
everyone. Guys,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having us.
No, thank you for having us on. Do well in the final, and before we go, just be aware I will never forgive you. Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
That's good.
All right. But thank you very much, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to the Jamie segment of the show now, which will either go well or very, very poorly.
Tell you what, viewers have gone up already.
They haven't. I checked. They haven't. But anyway, I'll let you speak your piece. Leeds versus Edinburgh.
Leeds are a bunch of rats. They did it on purpose. I can assure you they did it on purpose because that pitch was available. I've got it on
How
good.
do you know?
The pitch was available through the day.
Could you show us the evidence now?
Well, I can't go back in time, can I? But I have it on good word. The sources trust me. The sources trust me. But I'm not making this up. That pitch was available. I promise you. The bunch of rats.
I mean, I really enjoyed my interview with the Leeds Griffins. So
I watched it, and 90% of it I was falling asleep. It was that boring.
also,
It was that boring. We went to Mecca Bingo to cheer ourselves up. And then there were there's loads of beef with the Sharks. They said about 2 sentences and said we won't give them the airtime. They're boring. And they also didn't get the point. So there's this whole, they said we're frauds. We didn't say they're frauds. We said they'd frauded the way to the explanation
right.
how Loughborough should have got it. But they're a bunch. Oh. But anyway, on to Lincoln. we won't speak about Leeds. We won't speak about Leeds. On to Lincoln.
I want to hear Jamie's predictions for the playoffs.
For the playoffs or for Lincoln?
Both.
So for Lincoln, I'm going with. I need to be careful with what I say here because I don't want to spark an uprising within the Sharks again. I'm going with a UH Sharks 7, Lincoln 0. We'll get that average up. So
I've heard from sources, the offers haven't been too great over time, but I don't know what.
I don't know what these sources are, but it wasn't me before anyone comes at me. So, anyway, I would like to read you all a message because I would like to expose the Lincoln Colonials.
Sure, yeah, go on.
September 2022, they messaged, "Hey guys, hope you're having a good recruitment drive and are just as excited as we are for this season." Boring. As I'm sure you can see, we have stepped up our social media game this season, and we really want to push varsity for the end of the year. Would you be interested in collaborating with us for graphics, promo, etc.? And then they said a load of other waffle. And then I said, especially because both unis are shite with their marketing, no one knew it was happening last year. And they went, yes, we agree. I was also thinking we could have some friendly banter, in good faith, of course, to generate hype across the SUs. So I will put this out to yourselves. How much hype have the Lincoln Colonials generated?
Not much.
I'm glad I'm not going senile because I thought I was kidding myself into thinking that the Sharks were pushing this game. And I know we are hosting the pitch, but they are the home team, so they do need to try and sell it a little bit. I'm getting really sick of it. We're making memes every day. I thought today's was a really good one. but Lincoln have nothing.
I will open up the floor to any Lincoln Colonials that do want to come on at a late. Obviously not today because I want to go to bed. But
They won't want to come on after they've been beat 7-0.
no, I mean before that.
What, before Saturday?
Oh, it's on
This
Saturday,
week?
yeah. Oh, wait, what? No,
I
I've
think we've
got
got new
work. I definitely
predictions for
can't.
that.
Oh, well,
Well,
yeah, go on then.
in the predictions, surely.
Go on then.
Sharks.
Go on.
I'm saying 13-6 Sharks, all points scored in the first half.
Get in, Dillbag.
I've seen a Sharks game. Defense don't let anything through second half. Offense don't get anything through second half. I'm saying it's a 13-6 game.
I imagine SJ's got literally no feeling about this one way or the other.
I'll be honest, I could not give two shits.
Neither
But
could
I'm here for
anyone.
it.
Yeah.
And I'll
I
tell
mean,
you why
like-
I need to give a shit. Because Lincoln haven't done anything to promote this game. It could have been the game of the century, but they've fucked it. Rumour has it they haven't even got medics and refs sorted yet.
Oh, on a Saturday. Oh. What time is it?
2:30.
Oh, no, I'll definitely be at work.
Tebbs, you said you got it off.
Yeah, but I was busy dealing with playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, but you always knew you weren't getting past round one, mate. You could have booked it off.
That's not entirely true. That's all.
I feel like Centurion thinking they're getting past the mighty Harry at what? It's just not going to happen.
Oh, mate, crawl out of
I don't
Dylan's
know.
arse for a second. Fucking hell.
It's
You
the
know what?
Sharks,
Just
Wolverine,
for that,
LJMU
I'll
tryout.
fucking no.
You wouldn't
No,
dream of it. That's 40 quid.
That is true. That is true,
Tebbs, if
and
we
it's
win,
also
you get a
quite
Harry at
comfortable.
what, hoodie?
No,
Why?
I
do we have to
don't
get
want
to?
one.
Where do we have to get to make it worth
No,
it?
no. As Jamie knows, the only way to get me to buy merch is to message me when I'm in the club, when I'm about fucking 12 pints deep. That's the only way. That's why I bought this. I was fucking steaming. Woke
If
up in
we
the
buy
morning and seeing a
Miracle-
bill from fucking EP Sports. I'm like, oh,
If we buy Miracle, make finals. According,
yeah. No. I'll just buy one.
oh, that's no fun.
I'll just-
we'll get a bit of.
Okay, then I won't buy one. What? I don't know what you want.
Nah, I wanted a game out of it. I wanted inspiration. You've picked against me all year. I might as well try and.
All right, I won't
Get
fucking
something
bother
out of
then.
Right,
I've
are
got
we-
Lincoln. I've got Lincoln to win. I've got Lincoln to win. Yeah, because because I can guarantee you Lincoln have been slaving away at training instead of slaving away at the fucking meme factory.
We've been training.
Bloody hell.
Have you?
We've been training quite seriously.
TikTok dances.
No,
Yeah.
no dances. We wouldn't dream of that. We take our media very seriously.
I fucking hate the fucking whole shark.
Just you wait until you see the highlights of our NBA awards meal. What I have got booked for that. Oh my word.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The boys are in for a treat, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no, honestly, like if for some reason I just thought all the varsity games were happening later on in the year, or otherwise I would have.
Most unis do, because that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, or otherwise I would have booked it off, but I definitely have not booked it off.
Most have it end of March, don't they? Or do some have it
Yeah.
after?
That's it. I just assumed it'd be towards the end of March, even though I was told. Yeah, I've got no excuse. I've got no excuse, Jamie,
Boys are
and
absolutely devastated.
it's terrible.
They had this grand plan for you to hold the flares in the background and everything.
No, again, as I've said, the new Lincoln Colonials don't talk to me. So
Exactly. That's the point. Is you're coming to our side.
I
You think
mean, I'm
Lincoln's smart enough to know what a flare is?
I can ask to have it off, and I'll get back to you. There you go. Making social plans here on the rundown.
There you go. Shows in the mud, isn't it? Let's be honest. Christ.
Yeah, you've come on and you fucking killed it. See, this is the problem when, like, we do.
Even though he says about 4 words an hour, but we need him back.
The rest of it, he was the life soul.
Anyway, where's Conor? Is he on the hunt for his second den?
I don't know where he is. But he's not here. So, with that, and also, ladies and gentlemen, that if Jamie is fine, we'll have Jamie on next week to give us a full fucking breakdown of the varsity.
It's own that. Christ.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have that because yeah, I mean that'd be really really funny. But let's not take away from the fact that it is.
I will tell you this: if we do lose, you won't have me on because I'll be in hiding because I've backed myself into a corner and I've put a target on our backs. And if we lose,
no, because I said come on the show and then you fucking lost to Glasgow and then you didn't come on. I don't want any of this hiding away nonsense.
Again,
he lost to Edinburgh.
4,000 words to write in one night and passed out because I was ill.
Don't care. Direct dedication to the sport, bud.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Yeah. It's not good enough.
It's about 5 minutes before the show started.
That is no, because we got someone else on. It was actually about a couple of hours.
No, it wasn't.
Actually,
that's a load of bollocks.
You're a fucking load of bollocks, mate. But
maybe so.
But with that, yeah. I mean,
touchdowns. 3 rushing, 2 passing. I can see it happening.
Where's this?
You on Sunday. I can see it happening.
Me on Sunday.
Yeah.
Run
the opposite way to Sam Ends and you've got him.
See on the rushing. I'm actually quite excited to play again. I missed, especially York. I think Connor's a York elite. From what I remember.
York elite. That's the thing. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to end the show, but my computer keeps freezing, and that's where the end show button is. So this is just vamping now. I don't know what to tell you. So Jamie, so you two can just keep plugging your games.
I'm not saying anything.
If you're in the Edinburgh area on Sunday, feel free. I don't think many people who watch this are, if they're not already playing. But it's the second biggest game in Scotland, from what I've been told by the Edinburgh Napier Knights Instagram account. But apparently the biggest is in a couple of weeks. But oh well. If you want to see the only playoff game in Edinburgh, please come.
I've got a ball to pick with you and your boys, Dillbag. Apparently, the Harriet Watt Wolverines coaches refused to like put their signature on a "Can we have a Scottish division, please?"
I didn't know that. We can talk about this. This is semi-interesting.
Okay, fine. Talk about it then.
Hang on, just a quick thing with that. So essentially, what's happening is every team's going to be Scottish, aren't they? Except for one at the moment.
Yeah,
is that what? And you think? Is it you? Have fun, mate.
Well, no, because I'm not even here, but I will lead a campaign to just lodge a request that we move divisions because it's just outrageous.
I don't think it's a bad shout. I don't think you're wrong for doing it.
No, because you've got Stirling who have come down. You've got Edinburgh and Glasgow who are already in Div 1. You've got Harriet Watt who are going up. So that's 4. That's 4 out of 6. We don't even have a 6-team division because if Leeds don't go up, that leaves us and Leeds, right? Us and Leeds aren't on the borders anyway. So I don't know how we're in Div 1 borders because we're not on the border. So make that one make sense. So it's going to piss a couple of people off, but you just let Napier go up. You just say, Napier, go and join the Scottish division, have a whale of a time, or Aberdeen, whichever one you want. Probably Aberdeen, to be honest.
UWS. This is where the fun starts, because then you've got UWS, who Tebbs ranked as like the 3rd worst team in the country last year.
Oh, and again, because I'm not playing now, I'll say this now. UWS are the fucking worst team in the country.
Then they beat Teesside.
No, it's not that. Man, Nan could beat Teesside.
Sunderland beat Teesside. Which one? Then UWS you aren't. We'll figure that out later.
Either way, it's the logistics. I get it in terms of sort of the travel's much better, and it probably, but say out loud UWS to play Sterling twice a year, and also when it comes to Div 1 playoffs, how do you sort? Instead of like you already have, they basically Div 1 playoffs on number of games played because everyone plays 8, and we'd be playing what 12? Or no, 13, 14.
What? I don't think
you having a
really
breakdown?
I think you
No,
just
we'd
have
have
the
more
4 teams.
Yeah,
We'd have more teams involved. Sorry, it'd be a 7-team division.
You don't let every Scottish team in there. Jesus Christ, it's not a free for all.
But then where the UWS and Aberdeen or such go?
Let them fight. Winner takes it.
I don't know.
Yeah, why would
that...
you want to do that? You might not. But why would we want to do that? Because we don't want to spend £8,000 on transport a year. Like, it's financially crippling for us and Leeds. It's all right for Leeds, who might get a little bit more back. I don't even think they do. But it's financially crippling, especially if Leeds go up. You can't tell me that it makes any logical sense to have Hull from the Kingston of Hull, East Riding of Yorkshire, going up to Stirling, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and wherever Heriot Watt even is.
I think you're right. I reckon sub someone out from your division, just send them over.
It makes absolutely
from the
no
north.
sense. And then you can Tebbs with the sniffs. You have a bit of fun with it, and you just go right. The teams wouldn't, but you could turn around and you could have like a mini playoff to make the new divisions, or you could just upset some people. That's what's more likely to happen. Is you just upset people and you just make it understood that you're going off the rankings. And yes, it's going to be a bit shit for someone for a season because they'll feel hard done by, but they've got the opportunity to go up the year after. They weren't going to be in that division anyway, so why do they feel entitled to go up? Like,
my question is, right, is do Hull play in a Borders division for any other sport? Do they play Scottish teams in any other sport?
They play the likes of Sheffield. We're the only one that goes into Scotland. Like,
we all know
it's outrageous.
Thing is, it's one of those, like, I don't know how else it can be split. I do get it's the Div 1 Scotland. They've done it now in the adult ball teams, right? From what I've seen.
Yes, they have, yeah.
Div 1 Scotland. I think we probably need 1 or 2 teams, and it makes complete logical sense. It's having UWS and Stirling in the same division sounds so mental to say.
Yeah, but what's Stirling? I know they've got a lot of history and whatever, but what are Stirling even going to be like next year?
We don't know. You wouldn't think they're that bad consistently.
From what I saw of them, because I know it was against Beckett, but I went and watched them against Beckett, and they were really short on numbers as it was. I know that they're losing the 3 players that we looked at and thought they were all right. Them players are gone. Like, at what point do you go, maybe they're a bit of a sinking ship?
I think Conor's already had this debate about, is it the end of Sterling football as a whole, not just Sterling Prem football,
I don't think it's that drastic.
No, I don't think it's that drastic.
No, I don't think they'll crumble, but like, I don't think that it's going to be like. So I think there's a 0% chance they do what Leeds have done and come down and then go, oh well, we were a Prem side, we're going to dominate, because they didn't look like they could compete at all.
Yeah, we say this though, we're going to be the same division as them next year, and we'd get absolutely crunched by LBC or not, like so badly.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know now. I can't think of like genuinely a Div 1 Borders team who would be comfy in that position and not in a relegation battle.
I agree. Like we said all along, when we spoke about going up this year and we were planning for this year, we turned around and said, if somehow, we knew it was never going to happen, but we said, if somehow we managed to scrape it that we got promoted, what would we do? And I turned around and said, ultimately, how would you want to do it? Do you want to go and have a year where you're just going to get ownated, because that's what would happen, because we don't have a uni that gives us any backing, and that's what's going to happen with any team that goes up without any backing? Or do you turn around and say, well, we don't really want to go up? At that point, you'd get memed into the ground and you'd go, well, they're a bunch of pussies, they've not gone up. But at what point is it not enjoyable for the players?
We'll see. Nah, I don't know what Bucks and Bath at. Tonye's got a rough one. Because at the same time, he's now got who's coming down? You've got Northumbria now going down into the same division as Bangor in Northwest, or either Bangor or our division. So Teesside and Aberdeen shouldn't be in the same division for a start. But at the same time, York used to be in ours, and York and Aberdeen is even stupider. It's going to be a horrendous reshuffle.
They're going to have to do something, otherwise the team, because it will just financially cripple teams. And at that point, you're going to end up losing out on everything. And you're going to become so dependent on trying to get some fundraising from your players that you're going to lose players, because we don't get our players to pay a lot. We've been upfront from this from the start. We charge a £25 membership fee for the year. That includes all your kit. We obviously pay the buffer fee that comes with it, but that's a bit different. And then the uni has a sports pass that means you have to pay for, like, you get to play sport. But as a team, we don't charge a lot of money. We charge £12.50 a game to travel for refs and for transport. But what we'd have to do is, if we were going to Scotland 3-4 times a year, is you would physically have to start upping them prices. And that is our one selling point, to try and get the people over from the likes of rugby. We are cheap, but you can't say that, because we would have to spend, we'd either have to go and find sponsors, which in the current climate is nigh on impossible, or you'd have to up your prices for your players.
I honestly think I think there's almost, American football in the UK might have expanded quicker than it should have. I'll be honest, I think we'd be in a better situation if, genuinely, what would be the harm if Edinburgh had a singular team, and then you could get lads from the fourth uni who were able to play as well, and then Sunderland and Teesside put them together, UWS and Glasgow put them together. Like, it would be a better sport. You'd have more funding. There wouldn't be an issue money-wise. I get it'd bring other logistic problems, but like,
that would be the thing. It wouldn't be bucks.
Yeah,
I know, but what's better, that or the current mess, like, in terms of funding, and no one's able to pay?
Yeah, but the thing is, universities only care about bucks points.
Most don't even care about that.
I refuse to believe that Heriot Watt are like buzzing right now because we've got Divs 2 borders bucks points. I don't imagine it's caused a party in the sports union. No,
I know you'd be surprised. Like, your team went undefeated, got bucks points, and is now being promoted. They probably are looking at that going, that's really impressive. Like,
every time I've seen them, they've gone, "You're having an all right year, aren't you?" Yeah.
A lot of unis don't care about bucks points. They claim they do, but they don't actually care about bucks points, and that can be seen with the funding. Like, they say, "Oh yeah, we really want sport to be a big thing," but we've seen it over the last 3 years. Here is that they got rid of our president of sport role and mixed it with societies. Even like, for me, that was a red flag in itself. That's making it look like we're kind of going away from sport. And I've seen it at quite a few unis where they're just making life difficult for the sports teams because they're going, we want people to be more academically focused, but they don't understand the impact of sport. They did it with us.
Yeah, I don't think, actually, unless you're Durham, Loughborough, sort of your top few bucks points unis, I don't think it's really going to be like a big thing. You've got
to mention UCL in there as well.
UCL.
Yeah, that's a top bugs points uni right there. Now I'm going to try and end the stream. Oh, fuck's sake, no! We're going to try and end the stream now. If it doesn't work, we'll just keep talking. All right. So if you're playing this week, good luck, good health, and yes. But next week we should be joined by the NTU Renegades. We will be joined with
the NTU Renegades. What a bunch of legends walking all over Glasgow. Fuck them, fucking rats. What a season! They've had such an incredible season. What's it for? All for fucking nout. They're in the same position as us. Fuck them.
Where we will be joined by Jamie, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie will be on next week as well. So just get ready for that. Just get ready for that. That's what we need here.
Brickball will be back as well. I think we'll have Brickball
on. Yes, it is Sharks merch. It is. Yeah, you're right. Someone asked about it. But yeah, we're going to try and end it now. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you back here next week. I hate Rob Smith. Let's keep that going. Okay. I'll always hate him. Justice for Gloucestershire, even though we lost a good game. Unbelievable stuff. We'll see you next week.